Most people think presidential transportation is simply about moving world leaders from one place to another. But the vehicles used by presidents were never designed for transportation alone. They were designed to project power and maintain control. Because when a leader represents an entire nation, movement becomes a matter of national security. At level 1, presidential transportation begins with ordinary government vehicles. This is where future leaders first experience official mobility. The transportation remains practical, because most political careers begin long before national power arrives. Security remains limited, but eventually influence grows and visibility increases publicly. Protection becomes more important. At level 2, armored vehicles enter the picture for senior officials. Security becomes visible. Bullet-resistant materials and reinforced structures appear. The vehicle quietly becomes a mobile security platform, a shield on wheels. At level 3, motorcades transform transportation into a coordinated system. Multiple vehicles travel together with police escorts and security teams. Every movement becomes planned. Because leaders no longer travel as individuals, they travel as institutions. At level 4, presidential limousines become symbols of national power. Massive armored vehicles appear with advanced communications and protection systems. Everything becomes specialized, and psychologically, the limousine communicates authority before anyone speaks. Power becomes visible. At level 5, airborne presidential transportation enters the equation completely. Power leaves the ground. Special aircraft allow leaders to move rapidly across continents. Because modern leadership operates globally instead of locally, presidential aircraft become flying command centers with secure communications. Government moves with the leader. The aircraft transforms travel into continuity. At level 6, strategic command transportation appears during major crises. This is where survival becomes the priority. Protected transportation systems ensure government continuity, because nations require leadership during uncertainty and emergencies. At level 7, presidential transportation becomes a complete global security network, the highest level of state mobility. Aircraft, helicopters, motorcades, communications systems, and security teams operate together. Everything becomes interconnected. The president no longer travels alone. Entire systems move alongside them. Representing the final stage, movement without vulnerability. Because eventually, national leadership requires more than protection. It requires continuity of communication, decision-making, and authority. It was never really about luxury. Presidential transportation is ultimately designed for one purpose: maintaining leadership under any circumstance, not because presidents need comfort alone, but because nations need continuity of power.